Okay, we are starting now. As you guys come in, I will accept your entry. You guys coming? Oh, Jax is here. Jax.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. Hello, lovely.
Hello. Kind of.
Oh, I love your bandana.
Thank you.
I love it. How was your day?
It was okay. It felt really long.
You're such a trendsetter here.
With what?
With just everything. Like, did you watch the video for yes. Did you watch the video from yesterday today on YouTube?
I did not. I still have to do that. I've been really busy with just trying to keep up with schoolwork.
Oh, of course. That first. I did watch it and your room looks amazing. Okay, Alex.
I worked really hard on it.
What do you need help with? Alex has I hope you don't mind me letting them know that you have a disability. So you might need extra assistance. Everybody here, please help Alex if she asks any questions. And I will as well. Do you need the code or the passcode, Alex? You can't join. Why not? Do you need the passcode or the password? Oh, Fat Boy Slim is here. Oh my God.
Oh, fun. Hello.
Wow. Is he going to show his camera? Because I really would like to see his face. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know.
Because it's been a chemical romance. Did someone write it out? Oh, Judah House. Jax, love, can you send them?
What was that?
Can you write on TikTok the code and passcode? Yeah. Thank you, love. You're the best. And she's the best moderator. I just love Jax. By the way, she has these little bracelets that she's making. So if you guys want one, just let us know. I definitely want one. So, and actually, Fatboy Slim said that he was going to get one. Fatboy Slim, can you hear us or are you still buffering?
I can hear you.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I can hear your voice. Oh, the world is going to know Fatboy Slim 40. Oh, yeah. What's going on? You have so much to say, so go at it.
First of all, I don't want to live in a socialist country. So Trump has to win. If he loses, this is what we're going to lose. We're going to have health care for all illegals, and it's going to crash. We're going to be like Venezuela, eating zoo animals because the whole supply chain is going to break down.
Oh, Lord.
They want to take my guns, which has killed no one. Hello, I got 300 of them. They've killed no one. And it's my constitutional right, and I've hurt no one. So I get to keep them.
I agree with that.
Okay.
One thing I agree with.
Wow, Jax, look at you on fire. Scotty's on fire. Now, Jax, can I ask you, are you Black? Because
no. I
don't think you are.
I'm 100% Caucasian.
Come on, fat boy, give it up. We want to know because we've been thinking something.
Well, I'm 100% African American.
Get out of here.
I can't show my because I own a business and I would get eaten alive by the lefties.
Well, you know what? I will say this. That is very true. I'm an independent contractor and Republicans called my agency's phone. And I had a conversation.
That's just petty.
I'm telling
it's
you.
So petty.
I work for myself, but as an agent, until you're a broker, you can be under an agency and park your license. And they called my manager, and I had a conversation with her, and she said that you don't have to take the name away from your social media, but we would like you to, because they didn't want to be affiliated with this. So I hear you on that. But I still believe that you are not black, because, and if you are whitewashed, and that's with utmost respect.
So what you saying? I'm skin folk, not kin folk. Oh, okay.
Oh, so you're like a Candace Owens.
Okay, that's a compliment.
Okay.
Why do you, okay, let me say this, because I've known you on this social media platform for a while. Can I tell you this? As an African American woman who does have an LLC, who is a entrepreneur, who has dreams to give Jax, who's a 15-year-old who soon will graduate, a platform to not only have a voice, but be able to build wealth and her kids build wealth. I want to be a leader. Do you feel that Candace Owens, as now a registered Republican, cares not only about the youth in the Black community, but also in respect to being a leader of all Americans?
I admit she leans far right. I mean, even things I agree with her, like the whole Floyd incident. I don't agree with that. That was wrong what happened to him. And I think she takes it too far, saying, "Oh, he was on drugs, and that was the reason why he died because he was hopped on." No, the knee to the neck is why.
Oh my gosh. I was talking to my like I went to my grandma's house, and my grandma is very conservative Republican, and she was talking about how he died from drug overdose. And like, no, he probably died because somebody was, kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes.
Facts.
And she's just so stuck in her ways.
Your
Oh, this is recorded. I
grandmother,
probably shouldn't say that much.
Jax, you're speaking on your grandmother's behalf, right? So how do you feel about that with you having a family member? Obviously, I want you to love your grandmother, because I don't
Oh,
have
I do,
mine, and
100%. I
she's
love
your
my grandmother to
grandmother.
death.
And some people in a different era might have just different point of views. How do you influence your grandmother as far as with your beliefs and hers intertwined?
Oh, that's a good joke. I can't influence my grandmother. That's not possible. You try to influence 100% German woman to something else.
So how do you cope with that?
I walk out of the room. That's how I cope with it.
Right. But does that influence your beliefs in any way, shape, and form?
I will admit she does have some good points. But I feel like it could go a little bit better if she would take into account some of like my good points. I think it's because I'm a young person, and she's getting like upset with all the Gen Z people against Trump, and she's like in love with Trump. But I love my grandmother to death, but we agree to
Well,
disagree.
Jax, I want you to tell me one great thing about your grandmother.
She is an amazing cook. I wish I was as good as cook as my grandma. She is an amazing cook.
And what does she cook that you love? Because I want you to love her so much.
I actually have her vegetable soup is really good. I have that recipe. I'm gonna try to make that. Um, I love her. She makes amazing pie. Chili. She makes really good chili. She's just like a really good like a good cook in general. She grew up in a poor home. Um, I don't know where her dad was, but her mom was really sick by the age. I think she was like my age, and she would have to come home and take care of her siblings and cook. And so she's been cooking for like since probably 14, 15, and she's in her 80s now. So she's had lots of practice, and she is an amazing cook, and that's something that I love about my grandma. And there are many more things to love about my grandma, but we do disagree when it comes to politics.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now, I want to take this moment and talk to Fatboy Slim and Jax. And whoever else wants to join. I did give Mesa the code. If anybody needs the code, please access. Jax is a moderator. She will give it to you. I'm sure Fatboy Slim can give it to you because he's already here. Fatboy Slim, I want to know your thoughts on the debate between Kamala and Pence.
Too tame. And the moderator kept cutting them off when Pence would get to good points, like her crime bill and how she locked up so many people in California and had to be sued to let them out. They never got to that. Now, I will say it was a lot better debate than what Trump and what's his face did. The zombie, the man with the mic up his sleeve, the guy on Ritalin, I can't remember his name. Oh, Joe Biden. Okay.
Juju, I'm sorry, Fatboy Slim. Judah, are you coming to the live? And if you need the code, let us know. The fly.
It's already trending.
Oh, it is because I haven't been on TikTok. I can't wait. I'm letting you know, Fatboy Slim, that I will be posting our video on YouTube as soon as we're done, because I want to be able to get us out there as a community. One thing I've learned, which got me from 600 followers to almost 30 now, is that when you do things that trend, they do port us forward. So please, Fatboy Slim, please tell me this. What is your party and what do you think about the fly? And did you think I know you already touched base on this, but I really want to know in a more specific stance on whose side you felt won the debate.
I think Harris won the debate because Pence looked like he was on pins and needles trying to get everything out. She was real cool and calculating, which I figured because she was a prosecutor. He shouldn't have fell for that. He should have just been concise and stayed within his time. So she got him.
Wow. Now, I just want the world to know, because this is going to go on YouTube, that Fatboy Slim he's an African-American, so he says.
Oh
and, and he's had very strong conservative views, leaning towards Republican, right, Fatboy Slim?
I'm an independent, but yeah, I lean that way.
I didn't know you were independent. Okay, but you lean right. So
Yep.
to hear a leaning right say that Kamala won the debate, I hope that leftists can see, whoever reaches my channel, that there is I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, Fatboy Slim, but I'm seeing a lot of people have a different perspective, because as far as I'm not a leftist, I'm actually independent as well, because I like to vote on policy and not the person. But what I'm seeing is that people that are left are leaning right and right leaning left. I'm seeing like a lot of this, right?
What scares me most about her, out of the 4 people in this race, she's the smartest. It's the truth.
I would not have ever expected that from you. And that's why I love that you keep coming back, because I think in the end, we're going to see that you are a rational person. And so I want to add that a lot of people that are leftists, including myself, have seen Republicans and conservatives as people that don't care about the facts. Like, they just want to worship Trump and worship Pence, and they can do no wrong. But I can say this, and I can attest to this, that you've been very defensive when it comes to them, but yet you said what you just said. So it just makes me feel like there's hope.
Well, it's the truth. She ate his lunch. She let him keep talking and beat himself. That's basically what happened to Trump in a different form. But
okay, I'm gonna give the code to see if we can get some more people in here. I'm gonna write it down. The code. I'm sorry, Fatboy Slim. Let me see.
I put it in the chat. People can scroll up and see it unless they've joined in later.
Right, but what I'm finding is that some people still just like you can do that, right? You can like just scroll and see it.
Yeah, I can scroll and see it.
05J1N. Okay, that's the code. I just sent you guys the code. Now remember, this is timed. So if you want to be heard and be presented on the Andrea Show, which is just a platform for us all to be heard, and it's going to be put on my YouTube channel. You got to come now. Time is running out, and Jax has to go to school. My voice is running out. So, with that said, we're going to entertain people that are present. That's Jax and Fatboy Slim. So I took so many notes. I don't know if we're going to be able to talk about everything. Fatboy Slim, what do you have to say about? Okay, well, I'm going to ask you about the abortion questions.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so get rid of cash bill. I felt there was a lot of deflection when it came to the abortions. It was like they couldn't answer the question, both of them. I didn't get a clear cut answer, but Pence said he's pro-life. What does that mean to you?
Well, if he's pro-life, okay, I'm at the point where if a woman's life is not in danger, she should have the kid.
Oh,
let me tell you why. 22 million African American babies have been aborted since 1972. That's
how many? Wait, hold on. Let me write that down. How many?
22 million since 1972. That's half, almost half of all African Americans in this country. And in New York, 51% of all pregnancies, African American pregnancies, end in abortion.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that because I'm taking your notes?
In New York, 51% of all African American pregnancies end in abortion. There's more babies being aborted than are being born in New York. African American.
Okay, I have a question for you. What do you think about free birth control?
Huh?
Giving out free birth control.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Awesome.
Defo shot, as soon as they come out of the womb, if that helps the abortion rate go down.
So what I want to say is this: as a woman who has been on contraceptives and has studied this because of Candace Owens making this debate as a real pull towards the Republican Party, 99% of women are on contraceptives that are sexually active, right? Most women, if not all women, at some point in their life, in a study, will be on contraceptive. What is the difference between contraceptive and abortion? And also, let me include this. When a baby is born, it's a baby. But in order to be a baby, it has to be born. So let's get this right. It's not a baby being put to death. And that's what a lot of conservatives have really overused, that these abortions are murders. These are embryos. Scientifically, these are eggs that are being stopped from developing.
Okay.
So what I want to say is this, and I'll let you speak, that if, what did you say, 22 million African American babies are aborted, how many are white that are aborted? Because we're only 13% of the population, and that's us as a total. So as far as Black women, it's even less. So it is actually a scientific fact that more white women get abortions and there's more of them. So we're 13% of the population and 22 million since 1972 have been aborted. How many more white babies are being aborted, and why the direction and honed in on only African American women?
Well, because I'm Black and I did the study. Okay, 60% of all abortions since 1972 have been white. And most abortion clinics
repeat that. I'm taking notes. Please. I love your knowledge and I want to make sure I don't miss a beat. What was that?
60% of all abortions since 1972 have been white. Okay. Most abortion clinics are put in Black neighborhoods, and that's by design. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was a known racist. She was even given an award by Hitler. He called her. He gave her the highest German award you could get. He based eugenics on her studies. She went around to Black preachers trying to get them into abortions, but back then the Black preachers had some integrity, unlike Al Sharpton, and they refused to fall for it. She called Black people weeds. and Hillary Clinton got the Margaret Sanger Award. That should let you know a lot right there. And to me, the Democrats, all slave owners were Democrats. And
I'm sorry, Jax, can you please send the ID and the code, please, again, just one more time, love.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Fat Boy.
I'm just amazed that all Democrats, how black people can even vote for them, because all Democrats were slave owners, and they were doing that for what, 300-400 years, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, when it came out of fashion, they all of a sudden just switched and started loving black people.
Okay, now I want to add to this. It wasn't Democrats that were a part of the slavery. It was just white people in the southern region. It's a regional issue and not really a political party issue. You have to know that, Fat Boy Slim. As an African American, it's just white. In those times, it was just white people in the South. Hence,
Okay.
the Civil War with the North and the South, and the North won. Okay.
Okay. But,
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you have something?
My mom.
Okay.
No, my
All right,
mom's
let's
calling
move
me.
on.
Sorry, I forgot to mute myself.
I feel this. We all got personal testimonies, and I will say really quick that I had 2 abortions before I met my fiance, who's wonderful to me and my children now, because he was abusive to me, and it was really bad. And one day we'll talk about it. But I'm a Christian woman, and one thing that's never failed me is being a mother on the topic of abortion. My kids are amazing, and I'm pretty sure those 2 aborted children would have been amazing too. I love being a mother. However, I knew that if I kept those babies, not to say that my life would be any different. I think my fiance now would have accepted them, but I know this man would have been in my life for 18 plus years and even more. When someone has a kid with you that abuses you, it's not like they just go away. You know, they can go to court if they're smart, and he was. They don't leave you. Now, a lot of abusive men in relationships end up killing their spouse, the girl. And I knew that it would be safer for me and my current children that I had to just get rid of this guy. I even contacted his family. They wanted nothing to do with me. And the guy wanted nothing to do with the babies. And I wasn't economically ready to take care of 3 kids by myself as a single mother. And I have never relied on welfare. I've always worked 3-4 jobs if I needed to take care of myself and my kids. I am not a statistic. I'm a strong Black woman who works. So if I would have kept the kids, I would have been in an even more economical situation. Then I would have needed the welfare, and the public would have made sure that I would have had some needs, because it ain't even that much. Can you just hear that perspective that women don't just kill their babies? They usually don't go forward with abortion because they can't afford it or because they're in abusive situations.
I hear what you're saying. Okay, what about me as a man? I was in college when I got my girlfriend pregnant, and she was going to have the baby at first, and then she decided to abort without me, and my parents was going to take the child until we finished college. But she said no, just had the abortion. We broke up. As a man, I feel like I had no say, and that was my baby too.
Right. So then it's not in the situation of abortion. It's more so in the situation of the parents of the embryo being able to have the right to choose on the abortion. That's what I'm thinking about it. Because if the man and the woman both decide that it's not in the best interest of them to move forward, then that's fine. But if you are the father, that's the problem. Obviously, I agree with that. If you are the father of the embryo, you have 50% rights to it. So I think that you should be able to have some type of law that says, no, you have to move forward with the baby. So that's just reforming. But to say that you're pro-life and not have any plans to take care of the kid, if there was some type of program that says if you have an abortion, you will never have to worry about things that come up like medical bills, or maybe being a part of the Section 8 program would be a give. Let me tell you something. I'm a real estate agent. The Section 8 program is not fit. And we can get into that another day. It's disheartening what's going on with the Section 8 program. But it would be nice if women had children could automatically get that. In fact, most states will only accept if you have a disability now. It's like a cutoff. You know, I get it, but that's reform. It's not abortion. We're going to move on, though. I heard your point. Do you want to conclude anything about abortion, Jax?
I don't know. Not really. My views on it are kind of pro-choice. Just like, I think mental health, like as well as physical health, also mental health, I take into account, because as someone who does struggle with my mental health and mental disabilities, a lot of people kind of, push that aside and say, oh, well, that's just an excuse. Well, it's called a mental illness for a reason. Just because it's mental does not mean it's any less there. So I think that's something that we also need to take into account, is the mother's mental state, and if she's going to be able to go through with it.
Right. And on that note, let's transition to the justice questions.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Mental illness is huge. And I love how on TikTok, right before George Floyd died, there was this huge awareness point where everybody was hopping on the trend of mental health awareness. Now, George Floyd had PTSD. He's been shot before for the cops. He was claustrophobic. He even said it when he died, that he didn't want to be in a confined area. He has a history of drugs usage, and was on some type of drug. Fentanyl is what they say, on the day he died. Now, when the question was asked about Breonna Taylor, Kamala said she did not think that justice had done good service. Now, this is a senator and prosecutor of California, right? She, as a prosecutor, said the justice got it wrong. Now, Pence said he'd rather trust the justice system wholeheartedly without default. No excuse for George Floyd's death. He did say that. Let's give him credit for saying that. However, he did say that he kind of like deflected and went straight into rioting and looting. Now, does rioting and looting have anything to do with George Floyd? What are
Well,
your thoughts?
it's all wrapped up in the BLM movement and all that. You have to admit that's all wrapped up together. Now, Breonna Taylor, I will say that was a series of unfortunate, say, incidents, because her name was on the search warrant. Okay, but if you come into my house in the middle of the night, kicking my door, it's gonna be fireworks. Plain and simple. I don't agree with the no knock warrants. They could have simply knocked on the door and had them come to the door and have been taken care of. I don't agree with the no knock warrants.
Do you know that there is a Breonna Taylor law that is actually going to end that? I don't know if it's exclusive to her state, but I do know.
That's just one state. I think it ought to be taken out nationwide.
Yeah. Okay. And so, okay, let's move on. Because I have so many notes. If anybody on TikTok wants to say anything, Roland said she's kind of hit the nail on the head about Trump, them being for the big business while Biden is for the people. What are your thoughts? Does anybody want the code and ID to be heard tonight? Please let me know. I want everyone that's left here on the TikTok live to be heard. But since it's just us, Fat Boy Slim, your thoughts on?
Okay.
On
What
that?
about when Biden was over in the Ukraine and he said, if you investigate my son, you will not get the $1 billion unless you fire the prosecutor. That's quid pro quo. That's illegal. He should be in jail for that, actually. And then they fly on Air Force Two, him and his son. He goes to China, who's a crackhead, his son, and makes a deal with China for over $1 billion. Now tell me, what does a crackhead do for $1 billion? I don't want to see that.
So are you calling Beau Biden a crackhead?
Yeah, he is. He admitted he used crack. Not the one that died, the one that's still alive.
Joe Biden's son.
Yes, he got over $1 billion from China for what? I'll tell you for what. Access to his dad. Now tell me I'm wrong. I'm listening.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I have not done enough research on that to tell you that. I'd have to, go and look at it myself. If you have an article for me to read, I'd like that. If you have any recommendations.
Let me tell you. Go on DuckDuckGo for your
No,
search.
wait, hold on. DuckDuckGo is not the most credible. I've done research on them. All the Republicans and conservatives steer us to DuckDuckGo. I'm telling you through my research, they have horrible reviews. We need another source.
Okay, Google is censoring people left and right. There's so much stuff you can't even Google. They're blocking.
And so do you think that DuckDuckGo doesn't censor and doesn't block?
It's been my experience that I've gotten to stuff I really needed by going to DuckDuckGo.
Because it fits your narrative.
No, okay, like if you put in the Clinton body count in Google, you don't get a lot. But if you do it on DuckDuckGo, you get all of it. I mean, it's just impossible for like 70 people around you to commit suicide. It's just impossible. But I'm just saying.
What I would like for you to do is look up their reviews, because I looked at the reviews and it wasn't good. So you would trust DuckDuckGo, a third-party source, right?
Well,
that has bad reviews, than Google, a global network that's trusted by the world.
Oh, now come on. They've been censoring a lot. You go on there and try to look up anything about the COVID-19 and all the doctors that's using vitamin D to help African Americans, because our melanin in our skin, we don't get enough vitamin D. That's why it's affecting us so much. You need vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. Now you go in there and try to look up articles, you have to go 5 or 6 pages in. It's crazy. But DuckDuckGo right on the front page.
All right, you guys. Hey, listen. I don't know how much time you got, Fatboy Slim, but I feel I want to do one more meeting.
All righty.
Okay.
I feel upset because everybody got the code, but in 9 minutes that code will no longer be valid. I'm gonna have to invent another code. Jax, you have school. I understand if you can't stay. I will open up one more meeting.
I'll stay.
Okay, so we're gonna do another meeting because I feel like we touched some of the topics, but you guys, I got so many questions. In the next meeting, I would like to just bullet point quickly all of the conversations pertaining to the debate, right? So we're going to talk about just, like a compare and contrast between Pence and Kamala Harris on viewpoints of what they brought up. And 40 minutes should be enough for us to cover everything, I think.
We need to talk about the Supreme Court seat they're getting ready to fill. That woman is horrible. She is horrible. So
in the next video, because we still got 8 minutes, unless you want to do it now, I don't know everything about every single person in every single situation. We're not only here to share our own opinions, but we're also here to learn. And listen, if Fatboy Slim, if you have information on certain candidates without being a nonpartisan commentator, please educate us on things that maybe we don't know.
Okay, well, she's far right, and I like that, but she's not.
You like that? As a Black person, you want somebody that's far right?
Yes, I do, because her values, I like her values, but except for one thing, 2 things actually. She wants to be able to force people to take that vaccine, which I'm never going to take.
I actually agree with you.
They're going to be chasing my fat butt down the street. 2, she's for forfeiture. I mean, she's for like seizing people property, doing drug raids. That's just a bunch of crap. It's just wrong. Taking people's houses. I mean,
what's the name again? I'm sorry, let me write it down.
What's that?
What's her name again?
I refuse to mention her name. She's evil. It's like vulgar. I refuse to mention her name. I do.
Well, this is all recorded. So what I love about doing Zooms is that I can go back and listen to your guys' words. So I'm actually going to end this meeting. It's going to save onto my desktop. As soon as I'm done with the second meeting, I will post them on my YouTube channel, link in the bio. And what's great about, please subscribe too. Don't just look at the video, but subscribe so that you can revisit these conversations. And when we revisit these conversations, then we can learn, and then we can come up with our own opinions and arguments, and then come back tomorrow and talk about it. All right, so I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to create a new meeting. Okay.
All right.
Oh my God, I think I saw his face. He's got curly hair.
African American.
He is black. Everybody, he was telling the truth the whole time, because you could have fooled me.
That's what you get. See, I told you.
All right, so we're going to exit, and then we're going to enter a new meeting, new ID, new passcode. Jax, my love, can you please help me get them to get in?
Yes.
It's like a struggle. All right, love you. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit.